So this is the tank from the previous video. So I mentioned that this were a spare tank, and the reason it is a spare tank is because I hadn't had it very long and I've been wanting to put a new bottom drain in it. So it's had this 3-inch bottom drain in it, as you can see, and it's got a, well, it used to have a cap on it, but it all broke off and it was all pretty rough. So I'm going to put a new bottom drain in it, and I wanted to put a spindrifter in it because I wanted it to be an aerated bottom drain. But the only spindrifter I can get at the minute is a 4-inch. So I really wanted to put a 3-inch in because it doesn't really need a 4-inch, but also because the distance between the floor, no, it's on a pallet, but she won't be when it's full of water, but the distance between the floor and the bottom is about the same distance as the spindrifter, so the spindrifter would be touching the floor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 4-inch one on, so it's having a 4-inch one, and then I'm going to probably put some under the feet just to raise it up off the floor a little bit more. So yeah, I've tried it in, if I'll show it you. So here we are with the drain. As you can see, if I put this drain under here, it will sort of go under just without touching the bottom, but when it's full of water it'll sag down a little bit, in the middle especially, so it will be putting all weight on this, you know, or at least sharing the load onto it, which isn't a massive deal, but it's just not how I want to do it, I think. So I would have liked a 3-inch one because it is a bit of a big drain for a little tank, but I mean, if we get the air stone, I'm going to put the air stone on top of this. I mean, that didn't go in the middle, but there we go. So I've put that there. It doesn't look too ridiculous. Zoom out a bit. There you go. It doesn't look too ridiculous, so I think it'll be fine. Just use a 4-inch one. Why not? So yeah, I'm gonna just basically put this underneath. Take that one out. Put this one underneath and glue it all in and stuff like that. Should be fine. Do it as if it were a liner, because obviously it's pre-formed fiberglass. And I won't be doing any fiberglass into it, so let's get on with it. So I managed to take it out, got the pipe out, broke it out. Not the most cleanest way of doing it, to be honest, but it has come out okay. It was really well glued in there. This is the bracket for the actual spindrifter bottom drain, so you can see how much bigger the opening's going to be. I think it's a little bit less than this though. I think this is slightly bigger than the drain. So yeah, it's going to be, the new drain's going to be quite a big size on a little tank, but yeah, it'd be good. At least it's all clean fiberglass where I'm going to be attaching it to, and yeah, it should fit on there lovely. So I'm going to make a start at that. So I'm preparing to put the bottom drain in. So I've got the collar. So basically the bottom drain is, this is the standard spindrifter 4-inch bottom drain. It's basically set up for a fiberglass pond, so it's the fiberglass version, so you just basically fiberglass into it. If you want to attach it to a liner, what you get is you get the liner kit, which is this, and then these screws. So you just basically put that on top, line it up, and then get your screws, and you know, they go in that hole, but obviously you drill it out, so you want to drill all these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it all up, get it right where I want it, and then drill all the holes for the liner kit so that these fit in nicely, and then obviously you get all these stainless screws to go in it, and then little caps to blank them off, and then what I'll do is I'll probably just put that on there, drill the holes through here, mount it, mark it to cut the fiberglass out, take it all back off again, and then cut the fiberglass out, and then we should be fine. Obviously if you're doing it at a liner pond, you wouldn't take it back off because the liner removes, so you trap it all in, get it all glued down, and then then just go around it with a razor blade and cut your liner out. But obviously with fiberglass it's rigid, so it'll stay still anyway, so I'll just take it all off and do it carefully. So let's go on with that. So there we go, I've cut the hole in the bottom. So I've drilled all the holes as well for the actual bottom drain to be tied through to. So I've drilled these holes so that the screws just fit through them really neatly, because they don't want it actually attaching to the fiberglass, because it'll end up you know, pulling the bottom drain away, which is not what I want. This fiberglass is actually really thick, so I could probably get away without putting the flange thing around. In fact, I could just put washers on or something like that, would be a good way of doing it. And I'd quite like to do that, but mostly because it creates a little step, so it puts a little step around your drain so that muck has to come up before it can go into it. But just for the sake of it not leaking and not having to ever take it off again, I think I'm just going to put the flange on and not worry about that. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm pretty pleased with it. It's cut out as well, so I didn't really know how to cut it out, to be honest. I could use a jigsaw or something like that, but I actually did it with a grinder. So the other day when I was cutting that fiberglass out of that pond that I took to bits, I noticed the grinder actually cuts fiberglass really well. So I thought I'd grind it with a grinder and I'll be able to sort of make it somewhat neat, and I actually did a pretty good job. So what I did is I had it upside down, so this were on top, and I marked out a circle. So this is the circle where the flange fits, but obviously the drain's a little bit bigger, so I made the fiberglass a little bit bigger, just guessed it sort of thing really. And it should be fine, it should fit on there quite nice. And I've got it so that the outlet of the drain points to the same side. Where are we? Best look up top here. So the outlet of the drain would be pointing upwards in the situation that it's currently in, because I'm having it pointing the same way as this outlet or inlet here. So yeah, so I'm going to obviously dry it out and get on with putting the drain on and gluing it in place. So I've just put the bottom drain on temporarily to see how it all aligns, and it's actually come out really nice. I'm quite pleased with it. All the holes align up perfectly, like you can see light through them all quite well. So I'm quite pleased with that. Obviously I need to put the flange on, which I don't know, if I had the washers to put on it I might consider just putting washers on it, so then, you know, it'd be a straight slide straight in for any muck. But I think I'm just going to put the flange on it just for peace of mind that it's permanent, you know what I mean. Actually, one of the things I was surprised with these tanks, I know the fiberglass will be quite thick, but if you look at it sideways on, it is really thick fiberglass in the bottom here, so I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, so let's have a look at it from the other side. There we go, so that's it from the bottom side, so you can see, you know, where it's going to go. It's quite good, but one of the problems I've got is if I look at it on this angle, like straight across these bottom, you can see that the drain is actually lower than the feet, so I'm going to have to put something on the feet to make sure it, you know, raises off the floor a little bit, because you don't want to touch that drain before the feet. So that's a little bit of a problem. That's why I wanted a 3-inch bottom drain, but yeah, I couldn't get one. So yep, there we go. So all I need to do now is glue it, put glue all on the other side of that, stick it on, and then put glue all on this side in it and put the flange on. We should be good. I'll take the screws back off, but yeah, quite pleased with that. That's aligned, it's brilliant. It's like I designed it to fit. So there we go, I've glued everything up. So that's the bottom drain all covered in glue, and the ring thing to go on. And what glue I've used is the Gold Label pond sealer stuff. It's pretty good. Let's get it. There we go, you can actually see what it is. It's pretty good stuff. I know you can get this cheaper without the pictures of the fish on it, but I just can't remember what it is, or I would have said it in the video, but it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, so I've just gone round all them screw holes, and then round all them screw holes, and I'm basically just going to try and push it on and see how it goes. Unfortunately, I'm doing it off camera because I don't want to mess it up. So let's get it on. So there we go, got it all screwed down and it's pushed all the glue out, as you can see. Actually really glad I didn't film that because my hands got covered in the stuff, so I've washed them. I think they're going to be permanently a bit black now. It's a mistake, I should have worn gloves, but there we go. Also another point is I should have warmed the glue up, so if I'd have put the glue in warm water before I started putting it on, I might have made my life a little bit easier. It's quite difficult to get it out when it's cold, but there we go. Especially doing a large amount of it. But you can see how it's all gone round quite neatly and pressed in. So basically just going to go around it like that with your finger and neaten it all up now. Let's have a look at the other side. There we go, that's this side. You can see all the screws are slightly sticking out. Probably going to put the caps on them because it did come with some caps. But yeah, quite pleased with it. It's all gone on lovely, and this side's already been smoothened out, so it shouldn't leak, hopefully. But we'll see. So here we are with the tank. It is now dark outside, but I wanted to get this done actually in this video to get it all like starting to fill up with water, but it's just not worked out like that. The glue's just not set enough for me to actually turn the right way up. So I put these feet on the tank to make sure that when you look at it across like that, it'll touch the feet before it touches the bottom drain. So I'm quite pleased with that. Just bits of wood basically that I've glued on. One of the things I want to do actually is let me see if I can sort of do it. When you have a pipe coming out of these tanks, it's always like, say if there's a pipe coming out to it, when the tank's being moved about, which this one will be quite often, it's always susceptible to be really levered against and hit and bashed and all that. So I really want to put a rubber boot on this, but I'm going to have to work that out. So I want to put a rubber boot on it then to my pipe, so that when I'm moving the tank about I can actually just remove the entire pipe system, and same with the airline. I want it so that it can be all removed, there's nothing to knock about, because obviously this is going to be sort of a temporary quarantine tank. It's not going to be something that's running and sat in one position. It's going to be something I'll move about probably. So yeah, and I haven't put the actual lid on, so that's going to be in the next video. Hopefully I've done it sometime this week, but we'll see. So in the next video I want to put all this together, plumb it all up, get it running, and maybe even put some fish in it, we'll see. For a koi channel I ought to at least have some fish on it at some point. But there we go. So yeah, with the fry, at least we've got some fish in the video. I can't just keep making videos with no fish in it. So what my plan is I'm hoping at some point midweek I'll do the remainder of that tank, putting it together and, you know, getting it running. Then I want to do a video hopefully next Sunday that shows these fish, the fry. I want to get them out, have a good look at them and show you what I actually have ended up with. There is some really nice fish in this tank from Cuttlebrook Koi Farm. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this and fishy related videos, please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, then please put them down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Jeez.